Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if the constant hustle of modern life is leaving you completely burned out, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're taking some profound ancient wisdom from the Bodhicaryavatara, and we're going to transform it into a highly practical, step-by-step spiritual operating system. We're talking a total reboot designed to cure that modern burnout.
There's this incredible, really profound observation in the source text. It points out that we constantly exhaust ourselves chasing these little short-term fixes, right? But in doing so, we completely miss the mark on lasting joy. In our era of endless notifications and constant distraction, generating this truly altruistic, what they call a precious mind, is just unprecedentedly rare.
Which brings us to Section 1, the treasure within, Bodhicitta. Let's get right into it. So, what exactly is bodhicitta? Well, it's not some grand, unapproachable monastic ritual that you have to travel to a mountaintop to do. The text defines it as a fundamental internal shift. It's this incredibly pure intention where you genuinely wish for all beings to be free from suffering and to attain absolute joy. Think of it as upgrading your mind from its ordinary state to an awakened one.
To get there, we really have to look at our default settings. Our typical modern reaction is driven by what the text calls lazy and short-sighted self-interest. And honestly, that's the exact thing causing our burnout. We've got to break that pattern. We do this by establishing bodhicitta. Focusing on altruism is actually the highest merit because it actively dismantles our exhausting ego attachment. You're literally swapping out that draining self-focus for the root of genuine, lasting joy.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? That brings us to Section 2, our daily spiritual practice guide. Let's make this actionable. The text outlines 5 core chronological steps to anchor your day. Step 1. Start with a morning vow to benefit others the moment you wake up. Step 2. Intentional interactions, which means secretly wishing well to literally everyone you cross paths with. Step 3. Expanding your small acts of altruism and care. Step 4. An altruistic pre-practice, setting your intention right before you tackle any specific task. And Step 5, wrapping it all up with an evening review. Now let's dive into Section 3, transforming work and life. How does this apply to your actual day-to-day grind? We really need to shift our daily metrics for success across the board. Take work, for example. Instead of just chasing personal fame or the next promotion, trade that in for the goal of helping others grow. With family, try expanding the wish for just your own kin's health to desiring the joy of all parents everywhere. And when it comes to friends, swap out that exhausting people-pleasing routine for a genuine desire to truly benefit each other's souls. It's a massive perspective shift. Moving right along to Section 4, the wisdom of transforming triggers. Because, let's face it, things aren't always going to go smoothly.
The text offers a brilliant rhythm for flipping your internal reactions when life happens. When you encounter suffering, instead of getting bogged down, think to yourself, may I bear this, and through it, may others find joy. And on the flip side, when you encounter prosperity, don't just hoard it. Think, may this joy be shared by all beings. You're essentially using both the highs and the lows as fuel for your new mindset.
And what about when you're dealing with angry or difficult people? You know, our default is usually to get defensive right away. But instead, try to internally wish to take on the root of their suffering and bring their heart peace and wisdom. It sounds wild, but it acts as a profound internal antidote that completely neutralizes the conflict within your own mind. Now let's pause for a second. If you're a beginner at this, you might be hitting a wall of frustration right about now. It's so common to have this inner dialogue, wait, if everyone around me is totally lost in their own self-interest, can I truly cherish and maintain this altruistic mind? And hey, it's a completely valid struggle. Generating this thought is rare enough, but holding onto it without retreating back into your ego, that is the real challenge. This actually forces a moment of really deep self-reflection. Ask yourself right now, will I protect this vow even if others don't appreciate it or if they don't reciprocate? Because bodhicitta isn't just a transaction, and it's definitely not a mere formality. It is a steadfast, unconditional vow you make with yourself. Which leads us perfectly to our final part, Section 5, Evening Reflection and Vows. To close out your day, the text provides a really helpful evening checklist. You need to ask yourself honestly, were my thoughts today mostly for myself or were they for others? If you realize you're being pretty self-serving, repent sincerely and just resolve to do better tomorrow. But if you were genuinely altruistic, rejoice, celebrate that.
And finally, dedicate the merit. This means you mentally offer up any good energy you built up today for the absolute benefit of all beings.
The source text offers this really powerful dedication to finish the day. May my bodhicitta today not seek self-comfort, but Buddhahood for all, transforming ego into compassion. Think about that for a second. We aren't just trying to make our own individual lives a little more comfortable. We are actively turning our everyday frustrations and afflictions into a vehicle for collective wisdom.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Shifting from our exhausting, constant ego-driven hustle to discovering this treasure within completely and radically upgrades our daily operating system. The tools are all laid out right in front of you. The question is, are you ready to turn your ordinary mind into an awakened one today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. See you next time.